There's so much to say about the BMW Z8, and we will, but sometimes it's best to let this car speak for itself. Now, I could do that all day long. The 5-litre, 400 horsepower V8 shared with the E39 M5 has power and torque in abundance. And while it revs to 7,000, you hardly ever need to go there. Unless, of course, you want to enjoy that funky V8 bark. Now, whether you want to live out your Bond fantasies or simply own one of the most stylish cars of the 2000s, this is the Z8 you want. It is a 3-owner car with full BMW service history. It has a low mileage of only 45,000 kilometers, and it's immaculate and highly original with 100% factory paint. It is also stunning in black over black, which is a rather unusual color combination. And best of all, it is for sale with us here at Petrolhead Classics. So join me for a ride to figure out what makes this particular car so special and why the Z8, slightly misunderstood when it was launched, has finally come of age. The seats are super comfortable with plenty of space, even for my 6'4". It's really easy to find a good driving position. The dash is obviously super playful with its central instrument binnacle. Some would have wanted to have the rev counter in front of the driver. I don't mind. I think this works very well and you get used to it pretty quickly. The steering wheel, fantastic design, is lovely to hold on to, and you can easily do very, very long distances in this car in comfort. So it's really a good sports car that you can use for a weekend excursion. 2 people have plenty of space for their luggage. So it's ideal to go down to the seaside, you know, for a long weekend perhaps, and enjoy it before you have to go back to the city again. Now, it's impossible to talk about the BMW Z8 without mentioning its fantastic design. In my view, one of the most beautiful BMW ever built, and perfect from any angle. It was pinned by Henrik Fisker, who would later move on to design the Aston Martin DB9 and the Fisker Karma. His brief was to create a modern interpretation of the BMW 507. Now, many of you will know that car, but for those of you who don't, it's a gorgeous 2-seater V8-powered cabriolet built by BMW between 1957 and 1959. And you can clearly see some influences in the overall shape, but also details such as the rather low and wide front grills and the chromed side air intakes. I personally see a little bit of a Series 1 Jaguar E-Type Roadster in the rear, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but overall this design is definitely not too retro. In fact, it's absolutely spot on and it's aged incredibly well. Would you believe that this car is more than 20 years old? However, the beauty of the BMW Z8 is more than skin deep. It's a technological tour de force. It has an aluminium space frame chassis, a perfect 50-50 weight distribution with the V8 engine placed rather far back in the car. So with all this tech that BMW threw at the car, why weren't road testers so impressed with it when it was new? Well, there's only one way to find out. Now, the car certainly handles very well. Some testers have complained about the steering, that it has a bit of a vague feeling, perhaps, but it's actually not too bad. I also don't find the ride to be too harsh, even though the owner of this particular car has non-standard bigger M6 wheels on the car, so it might be a little bit softer with the standard wheels and tires. In any case, it's a fantastic car to cruise along in, and I think that now this car has really come of age because people don't expect it to be anything else than what it actually is. It's a fantastic collector car that will give its owner a lot of driving pleasure for many, many years to come.